What's up, guys? So yesterday I harvested all of these beautiful carrots out of my garden, and I was thinking, what do I want to do? What do I want to cook with these carrots? And I thought about it, and I'm going back to my roots, and I'm actually going to make, this is the first thing that I made when I went to culinary school. It's simple, it's easy. There's four there's four ingredients: carrots, onion, butter, and some chicken stock, and we are gonna make a puree of carrot soup. It is delicious. You get the flavor, the essence of the carrot. Wait until you see, it is just delicious. So I've peeled all the carrots, and I'm gonna show you one, how to size the carrots, make planks, and cut them into, we're gonna do a medium diced carrot. So another thing, all the ingredients I'm using today are local and or organic. Just happen to turn out that way, although I do like to cook as much as I possibly can local and or organic. So I was actually graded on this in culinary school. We'll cut off both ends of the carrot. I want to try to leave as much as possible. And then you have to look at the size of the carrot and see where does the size change. So about here, and I'm gonna go one more halfway through. And next we make planks. So for a medium dice, about this much down, and we cut through. This is gonna make about medium dice. You turn the carrot on its side, come down again, flip it again, one more, and here's medium diced carrots. Okay, on this one, we're gonna cut this in half. We're gonna cut this one in half. And what we wanna do is we wanna make basically uniform sized planks. The reason for that is when we cut these into our medium dice, which for this, really all we have to do is cut them in half. All the carrots are basically the same size, and we want the same size so that they cook uniformly, so that they all get done at the same time, and some aren't overdone and underdone because they're different sizes. So I am going to continue on this one, for instance, with the medium dice. You almost come halfway down, go halfway through the carrot to get the same size, and then right through. It's very simple, just takes time. Now when you get into small dice or brunoise, which is very, very small dice, then it gets technical, but very important that your carrot pieces are the same size. Anyway, this one we're gonna go in half, this one, half, this one, that's probably half, and so I'll do the rest of the carrots and then on to the onions. So you can see we have all the carrots diced up into the pieces we want. I'm actually using 2 pounds of carrot. I'll put the recipe in the description on the video so you can see it, but we're doing 2 pounds of carrot. We're doing a ½ pound of onions. So I've taken the onions, I've peeled them, cut off the ends, peeled them, sliced them in half. And to make the same size, I'm only gonna have to do one cut through the center of the onion, and I go about almost to the back. And then I'm gonna do 2 slices this way, then come about, I'd say about a ½ inch back, the last part like that, and you have your onion pieces. It's super simple. Again, you want to have everything uniform size so it all cooks the same way. So 1, 2, back piece, slice. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 ounces of butter, and we're going to melt it in a pan in a big pot, and then we're going to add the onions and carrots, and we're just going to saute them down. So we take the pot, we put it on medium heat, and then I need 2 ounces of butter. So again, the butter is very simple to use. 2 tablespoons equals 1 ounce, so here we have 2 ounces of butter. And we're just gonna let that melt in the pot. We wanna let it melt, well, make sure we get the paper off. We just want it to melt and get warm so we can add our vegetables to it. We got our butter pretty much melted. So now we are just going to add all of our carrots and all of our onions right into the pot. And then we're just going to sweat them down. We're going to cook them about halfway through. So we'll just stir, mix around, get all the vegetables covered with butter. And just let them sweat. These carrots and onions have been sweating for about 10 minutes. The onions are about halfway cooked. The carrots, they got a little more time, but it's time now to add our chicken stock. We're gonna add 2.5 quarts of chicken stock. You might be wondering, why am I making a carrot soup, a puree of carrot soup? I just made this monster brisket the other day. I did this unbelievable video with a big green egg, but let me tell you, I've eaten brisket with like the last 4 meals. If I don't get some veggies in me, I'm gonna keel over. I mean, I need some health. Anyway, here is our chicken stock, and we're gonna just add 2.5 quarts for our stock. Pour it all in, fill her up. Then we're gonna turn the heat up to a boil. Once it gets to a boil, we'll turn it down to a simmer, and then we're just gonna cook the vegetables until they're tender. And how we'll check that is, in a little while, we'll get some tongs and we will grab a piece of carrot and get a knife and poke the carrot and make sure that it's tender. So while we're letting the soup simmer, letting the vegetables get tender, I'm gonna be making some crostinis, some yummy little bread treats that we can have with our soup. And I have a Harvest Moon ciabatta that I'm going to slice up and make into some gorgeous crostini. You're going to love it. Making crostinis are very simple. If I had a baguette, I would probably cut them on a bias, but because this bread is so wide as it is, I'm just going to cut it straight down. This bread smells so incredible. So I'm going to do about a little less than 1/4 inch thick, and I'm just going to make some nice slices of bread, some ciabatta slices that are just gonna crisp up awesome. I think I'm gonna do, it's just me and my daughter tonight, so we'll just do 6 of these. 1, 2, 3, one more, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so you get your ciabatta slices, put them on a tray, very simple. Then I have some extra virgin olive oil. So what I wanna do is I wanna cover each slice with olive oil. And once I do that, I want to rub it in. I want to cover the entire surface. I want this olive oil to soak in and just become delicious. Once we do that, I'm going to use my Himalayan salt, and I'm going to season each one. Get a nice coating, nice flavor on them. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to flip them over, because you don't want to leave the other side, all by itself. You want to get both sides of this just drenched. You want it to toast up, and you want, when you bite into it, to taste the olive oil on every single piece. So both sides is very important. Don't skimp on the olive oil. It's delicious, it's healthy. And again, we take a little salt and we season each piece of the ciabatta. This is gonna make amazing, delicious crostini. It's very simple and easy. So the carrots have been simmering for about 20 minutes. It's time to check them to see how soft and tender they are. So I'll just grab my tongs and I'll grab a piece of carrot, poke it with a knife, and that's going through really easy. So the carrots are tender enough that now we can go ahead and puree our carrots. Now we're ready to puree up the carrot soup. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fill up my Vitamix with a few scoops full of the soup. Get a bunch of carrot, onion. You wanna get about equal parts carrot, onion, and then liquid. You want it to puree very easily. So I'm just gonna start with about this much and see where we get. So we'll just flip the switch and let it go. Whew, that is steaming. All right, let's see what we got. Woo, that is hot. It just smells so delicious, so carroty, nice, liquidy. And so we're just gonna pour that into our other soup bowl. And we'll just continue this process until we've pureed up all of the carrots. And then we'll put it back on the stove, simmer it. I'm gonna have an awesome secret how to give this soup a pop at the finish. Now we have the soup back on the stove. Look at that beautiful orange carrot color. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring it to a simmer, then we're gonna season it. I'm gonna show you that exciting secret ingredient that just brings the soup to a whole nother level, and then we're gonna be ready to serve. We got the soup back to a simmer, and so now it is time to season our soup. So I'm gonna use some salt, Himalayan salt, my favorite, and I'm gonna probably start with about a tablespoon to start, just to see where that lands us. So we'll sprinkle that in. And then with a lot of soups, I like to use white pepper because it doesn't change the color. There's no black specks. I like the soup to look pretty beautiful. So I'll probably do about a teaspoon of white pepper to start. And we'll just stir that in. And then once we stir it in, we'll get some testing spoons. And let's see where we're at with this soup. So, it definitely needs some more salt. Salt brings out the flavor in every food. It's the most important spice in the kitchen. I once had a chef tell me where I worked, we put salt on everything except salt and coffee. Anyway, so I probably added about another tablespoon and a half. Could probably use a little more pepper. Now here's the secret that my culinary instructor taught me. You want to give the carrot soup a pop. You want to add a brightness. It just, I don't know how it does it, if it's the acid, but little lemon juice right in just brings this soup to a whole nother level. It's unbelievable. You will not believe the difference in taste. Anyway, let's stir this in and see where we're at. Okay. Wow. I think we're just about there. It's time to put the crostinis in the toaster oven. Slide those in. It is time to serve up this delicious, gorgeous soup. Okay, so we're just gonna fill up 2 beautiful bowls. It has a thickness, but not too thick. Look at that. My daughter is gonna be very happy. This is just gonna be so nutritious and delicious. Okay, wipe the rim. So there you have it, folks. Beautiful, gorgeous puree of carrot soup, and and just to give it a little color, a little eye appeal, you can add some fresh parsley to it. Just beautiful. Now it is my favorite part of the video. As always, I get to try the soup. Actually, this reminds me of an Eddie Murphy movie. Remember at the end of Coming to America? So this waiter comes up and says, "How's the soup?" He says, "I can't tell you. Would you taste the soup?" He's like, "Is that too hot?" "No, taste the soup." "Is it too cold?" "Would you just taste the soup?" He's like, "Okay, where's the spoon?" Aha! Aha! Anyway. Oh, that is just delicious. You really get the flavor of the carrots. It's just very healthful. Is that a word? Healthful, nutritious. It is bright. It is delicious. Fall carrots out of the garden. This soup is just awesome. Thank you guys so much again for watching my video. And if this is your first time watching my video, don't forget, hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification button. You'll see when my next awesome, amazing, fun, exciting videos are. Have a great day.